And now the moment you've all been waiting for. The royal hostess with the mostest. The queen bee with the money, honey.
B+.
That's right. And it's time you all bow to the real queen bee.
Here she comes, the most beautiful bee in the universe.
You're stealing all the bees just because you're jealous?
No, that's just a bonus. My actual plan is to capture all the queens. Their hives will then have no choice but to follow me.
Hey everybody, long time no talk. Let's see here. All right, hello Liberty Farmer. And anybody else you might be watching and just coming in. Good morning, and happy Saturday. Hi Dark Magician, hey X amount of words. I hope everybody is having a nice Saturday so far. Hey Lindsay. And yeah, it's sunny here where I am. I think it's cold out though, so I kind of, when I went outside, hey Nat. When I went out to take the dogs out, it was pretty chilly. So, I mean, it is sunny, but I think it's deceiving. But I am still going to get out there, and I'm still going to go for a walk in a little bit. I just wanted to check in with everybody. Hey, Dave. And I wanted to kind of start off discussing some of the polls that I've been doing. I don't know if, I'm sure you all have noticed that I've kind of been flooding your feed there with a bunch of different polls. Hey, SA. Yeah, it is cold outside, Nat. And it was like, it's been in the 60s. It's supposed to go back to, it's bizarre, at least where I am. So, I mean, at least it's sunny. So I'm still going to try and get outside. But yes, I've been doing these polls. And the purpose of these polls is because I kind of, first of all, they're anonymous. So anybody who's answering those questions, I can't see. I'm sorry you're having a bad day, Candy Kisses. I hope your day gets better. But I want to make sure I don't miss anybody when I say hello. Okay. I think I'm doing good so far with that. But yeah, the purpose of it is that it's anonymous, so people can openly state how they feel about certain things. I can't see who vote. I can't even see who voted. I can't see what you voted, and neither can anybody else. So I feel like it's a good way of getting people to be able to, say how they really feel about certain things that go on here. And I feel like that it's been doing just that. Now, granted, I mean, I'm a small channel, so my sample size isn't exactly ideal. So, I mean, but I think that, it's still eye-opening nonetheless. And I was actually a little surprised by some of the answers that I got there. It's like my dogs know that I'm going to go on the computer. It's like whenever I'm on the phone or go on here, Molly she knows and she has to start barking. So I apologize. I might have to go distract her. But right. So, I put a bunch of questions, and the basis for my questions was there she goes. I wanted to get a sense of whatever. Hold on, guys. I'm going to mute really quickly. I apologize. I'm going to go distract her with peanut butter real quick. Hold on. Okay, guys, I am so sorry. I hope that tides them over. Hello, everybody I missed here. Hey, Alexis. Hey, so fucking grateful. If I missed anyone else, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm back. Hopefully that keeps her busy and she can be quiet for a little bit. But yeah, so the purpose of the questions were kind of I wanted to put behaviors that I had been seeing or that, you know, I've heard being talked about elsewhere. And I wanted to do a poll to see what people really think about what's going on. Now, the purpose of this is that ultimately I want to be able to bring the results to you. And I want to be like, so here's what's going on. This is like, you can't deny that it's going on in the community when you see that people that are part of this community have voted on it. So I'm gonna use this analogy, but I want to be very clear, guys. Don't do this to your dog because it's actually not a really great training method. But it's like, you know, when your dog, like back in the day, they would suggest that if your dog, like, you know, pees on the floor, that you bring them over and show them that what they did wrong. I almost feel like it's kind of like that. So we're gonna look at, you know, the results of things, and it's like, here you go, like, you know, clearly people in the community feel a certain way. So what can we as creators do differently to kind of remedy that? Now, not everything is going to be able to be remedied. I was actually surprised by some of the answers, and I actually disagreed with some of the results. But if, you know, with this many people saying that, then like, I mean, I have to kind of take a look at what's going on so I can, you know, because I mean, I even have differing views, and I really appreciated the folks who would, you know, comment in there too, because I feel like there were some good discussions going on as well. I don't know why I can't hear right now. My sinuses are really blocked. I have like a little bit of a cold. You can listen, you talk to a sofa. But yeah, so I hope everybody, like, I really encourage people to participate in those, because it's a chance for you guys to kind of say what you've been saying in a way that like isn't going to come back to haunt you, because nobody knows it was you that said it. And like I said, I was really surprised by some of them. I think one that I think is going to be a really good conversation for us all, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do this one today, is how people feel about the whole creators having their payment info either scrolling across the bottom or being dropped in the chat. And I think a lot of people had some really interesting opinions on that, and I was actually surprised by the results on that as well. So that was one that I think we're going to be able to have a good conversation about. There was a couple others that I think that we'll be able to have a good conversation about too. Especially like, you know, I put one up that was like, you know, what are the factors that go into like, what of the following most influences your decision to unsubscribe to somebody or to subscribe? And I found the answers to that a little interesting as well. I definitely did. There was one option that I put in there that I was certain that nobody was going to pick. And people did. So we're definitely going to have a conversation about that, because I found that very, very interesting. And, you know, YouTube did take down one of my questions, and it was not, I did not do it. So I went to go look, and it was gone. And it was the one about asking, in the past 6 months, have you felt taken advantage of financially? So I'm not sure why YouTube took that down, but it's not there. And I'm like really kind of confused about that. So, you know, I don't know why. So I don't know. I might try to put that one up again. Although surprisingly, guys, the results that I had been getting so far were encouraging, because actually a lot of people don't feel like they've been taken advantage of financially. I think a lot of people are recognizing that they are adults, and that if they're to give, you know, monetarily to somebody, like, you know, people are responsible for their own actions, which I also found interesting. I thought that number was going to be a lot higher. And I did upload a couple of these. I hope that this show's okay, but if it doesn't, we'll try to figure out a different way to do this. And I don't even know which one I'm going to click right now. So this is, let's see. Okay. So this one is very telling, but I think this one is obvious for everybody. So have you ever seen one creator criticizing another's behavior while engaging in that very behavior themselves? I mean, granted, like I said, you know, sample size isn't ideal for these things, 51 votes, but that's not bad. Every single person who voted said, yes, they have seen the hypocrisy on here. I thought that was very telling. I actually was expecting that as an answer. And I'm not looking at chat, so hopefully everybody's behaving themselves. I'm sure they are. Let's go with this one. Okay. Have you ever felt specifically targeted by a creator? I was actually really happy to see that while it is very close, it was predominantly no, because no subscriber should feel targeted by a creator or anybody else really, because, you know, we're all strangers on the internet. But especially by creators, because that's not exactly our place. That's not, conducive to a supportive, positive, fun environment. That one, I was surprised by that one too. So I'm actually in a good way. Hopefully. I don't know if these will show. All right. Do you think that while a creator is not responsible for what people say in their chat, they should be aware of the influence they have, know their audience, and be mindful of that? And 85% of people said, yes, great influence brings great responsibility. And 15% said, no, it's not the creator's problem. Now, I was kind of up in the air about how this one was going to go. I wasn't entirely sure. And I think it's actually encouraging to see that people are understanding that, a lot of the time what goes on, creators can get really caught up in things. But a lot of the time it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship. Like, the chat and it kind of is a perfect storm that comes together. I'm trying to find one that's a good conversation for us. Let's see. All right, here we go. This is a good one. So, do you think that creators genuinely hate the people they talk about? Or do you think that they are doing it because it's what keeps / builds their audience and brings in the money? Now, I'm going to leave this one up here because we're going to talk about that and I'm going to look at the chat. All right. Yes, Dark Magician, creators do. Hi, Jenny Lay. If I missed, hi, hashtag Shy and Anna Sue, Modelin. If I missed anybody else, I am so sorry. Yeah, hypocrisy really is running rampant. But here's the thing. So I was actually really interested to see that a lot of people feel the same way I do on here. Most are just selling drama. You are right, X amount of words. And I think it's really important to recognize that I don't think that all of these creators are genuinely full of hate. They might be spiteful, negative, maybe mean people, but I don't think they're driven by pure hate. I think that that's unfair, in my opinion. I think that a lot of it is mostly seen as a business. So if it's beneficial to that creator to target a particular creator, another creator, people are going to go after that. You'll always see that. If there's something that's like the new big thing, you're going to see a whole bunch of channels pop up. Now, I know I've been accused of being one of those, but my channel was never meant to do just one thing. I was just, I was very invested in figuring out the behaviors going on in one particular thing, but I wasn't popping up as a hate channel. Now, I've noticed a lot of channels popping up lately about one particular creator who I do not want to discuss on here at this point in time, because I think you all know who I'm talking about. When we do address that, and I feel like we might address it because I want to do it in an appropriate way, but now is not the time to do that. But I've noticed, especially clip channels popping up about one particular person who's a little out of control at the moment. Yeah, some people are obsessed and do it for clout. Right. And it's not even what I think a lot of people don't even genuinely feel a certain way, but they're going to go with that because they know it's what builds their channel. Now, the problem with that, guys, is that while I think that it's wonderful if someone's being treated and it was wrong, I personally am of the belief where I, if I come into new information about somebody, I'm able to adjust my opinion accordingly. Now, that's not to say that one thing somebody does is going to make or break how I feel about them. I don't do that. So if I don't agree with something that somebody's doing, that's not necessarily a deal breaker for me. It has to go beyond that, if it's a consistent thing, then yes. At what point do I separate myself from that? That's very true. And then there are other things that completely go against my own values and morals. And if I see that, then, a lot of the times I don't give many chances when it comes to certain things, such as, I'm not gonna I think it should be obvious things, but apparently it's not. Just people that are hateful towards others in a way that's just really gross. But, ultimately it's not going to be a deal breaker. And I really do think that, people's opinions should change as they get new information. However, you get into this catch-22 almost, because if people are coming on here and they probably don't even care about what's going on necessarily. They see something that they're like, okay, well, I can get behind that, and then they kind of go after one particular person, and they get rewarded for that by, like, they get, subs start flocking over there, whether it to be to hate watch or to because they like that or whatever. And they see that that's reinforcing. It's like, okay, so all right, this is how I can build my channel. People love this, so I'm going to double down and I'm going to continue doing that. And really, it's not because they actually care about the situation. It's not because they actually, are fighting for people. Like, it has nothing to do with that. All of it, I think a lot of it on YouTube in general is a lot of self-serving. It's a lot of, supply and demand. And guys, I'm a business person, so I'm going to talk about things in business terms. And I know sometimes it comes off as like abrasive and maybe like a little dehumanizing, but it's how my brain thinks. But it's like supply and demand. So, like, I'll use this as an example, like, just because it's, if it's all a rage to talk about Natasha, then you're going to see a bunch of people, and some people might be really, really passionate about, and truly believe in what they're doing with that. That's fair. I think that there are people like that, but I think there's also people that'll jump on that. And then these are the same people that you'll see 6 months from now, and their views it'll completely flip. And it's usually the people that go the hardest that end up in that situation. And then but that was another one of my questions. I was like, all right, so if you see two creators that were like really, really going at each other's throats, a good example of that would be Natasha and TT. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, they've made up and everything is fine. Like, and subs are just, expected to deal. And if they have a problem with it, they're told that they don't want peace. Now, while I think that I personally don't like the toxic like mentality on here. So if people want to make peace, I am all for it. However, as somebody who does, I just see different motives behind things, and that's what doesn't sit well with me. But I did do a question of, how do you feel if something like that happens? And I wish I, could see the actual, because I did a question like that. And, a lot of people said that they would just be confused, which is fair. I was expecting more people to say more negative things, but, a lot of people feel in the middle of that. So, there's always going to be that percentage of people who, feel very hurt by that particular person the creator has been going after. And they feel very surprised when, a couple months down the road, those two people are best friends. But guys, most of us have been on here for a long time. That's kind of the cycle of things, is it not? I mean, I always just expect it from the get-go, it'll be, but it'll turn into something else. Now, I would be happy if it was like, oh, well, we're going to make peace. And then, we're not going to treat people like that ever again. But the problem is that usually that's not how it goes. It just makes it so, certain people make alliances with, people they used to go against to take down somebody else. And it's like a game of chess almost. And a lot of it is just kind of sneaky. But I see it all for what it is, and I keep to myself, and I watch how things play out, and I'm going to continue to watch how things play out. And, micro communities, exactly. Oh, it is coming, Dark Magician. Oh, it is. And I see it. I see the train in the distance. It's coming. And unfortunately, I feel like it's going to put people in a weird position, but that is the cycle of these things. We've seen it over and over and over again. Now, I don't know how many people, I should do a poll about that, of how long you've been part of this community. But any of us who have been part of this particular, microcosm, who is, over a year or so, I think you've seen that, like, people who are arch enemies always end up making up and becoming friends, mostly to take down somebody else. And, what we're dealing with here is no different. That is going to happen. And and I'm not, like I said, I'm not necessarily against that. That's kind of how this stuff works. But when it's to, inflict that same behaviors onto a new target, that I don't like. And, I'm going to speak more on it when I figure out the best way to speak more on it. But I kind of just wanted to go over your guys' answers, because yes, transparency, #shy. Exactly. Right. Creators can't, I agree. And I think, in addition to that, #shy, is that, I think that creators can't just, continue to bash people, but in secret be, doing all sorts of other things, in the background, but putting on this front for subscribers. I think everybody should be transparent about everything that they do. Now, well, I've been called out for using the video I made for Natasha as, what was it, for content or for show or whatever. That's not the reason I did it like that. In fact, that didn't even cross my mind. The reason I did it the way I did was because I didn't want subscribers to feel like I was being sneaky. Like, that's who I am. I in my mind, in my heart, the right thing to do was to, send my condolences to Natasha. I didn't want to be talking one thing and then doing another. So I made the video because, first of all, I wanted Natasha to see it. But second of all, I wanted to be upfront and open about what I was doing. I didn't want to be, talking about Natasha and then, secretly emailing back and forth with her. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted it to be out in the open that this is who I am. This is how I feel. And I am not gonna, that was the purpose of it. It really had nothing to do with, using it for content. Like, if anybody uses that for content, that's disgusting. But, it is what it is. Any creator who says they talk to no one behind the scenes is lying. Yes. Yes, Dark Magician. Yes. Yes. Although to be honest, I really don't talk to a whole lot of people because I don't trust many people, for good reason. And I do talk to a few people, though. I mean, I have, emailed back and forth in the past with creators. I have. But I haven't talked to anybody in a while, to be honest, except for like my mods and stuff. But people do. They do talk behind the scenes. And it's usually, and a lot of stuff has been coming out from different places. And I'm not surprised, but I feel like, some people might be. Some people might be. But it always is. It's a shifting target, and it'll just move on to another person. And unfortunately, there's no real cause on here, guys. And I just don't know what it's going to take for. There's just a lot of hypocrisy. There's a lot of people that, if one creator does something, it's like, a big deal and the end of the world. But, if somebody else does it, the one that they support more does it, it's fine. And it's like, and I don't know. Hi, truth be told, I'm not down with that. I feel like people should be, and that was one of the other questions. I did ask on one of them. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, what's this one? Well, we can go into that one too. Let's see. Let's see, guys. This is interesting. I mean, I was kind of surprised that 1% says that they don't believe that a creator was being deceitful for content or personal gain. The comment section for this one was actually pretty interesting as well. Because I do believe that there's a lot of that going on. I believe that, there's a lot of lying by omission. There's a lot of half-truths. There's a lot of, just sneaky maneuvers to kind of hide, what really goes. And it's all for personal gain. I mean, I really do believe that. I don't believe that anybody is on here simply to, be the defenders and protectors of the subscribers, including myself, guys. I don't see myself like that. I am on here to build an audience. We all are. But I'm also not going to behave in other ways either. And that's just because that's who I am. And if that makes me, if that makes it something that you guys can't get behind because you think that I'm, being fake or whatever, well, stick around and see. You'll see exactly who I am. I'm not going to change. Nothing's going to change about what I do. And, give it time. If you still want to call me fake after that, fine, but you'll have no basis for it. But I was surprised to see that out of 74, and that was actually one of my higher ones, that 1% did say no, that they don't believe that a creator has ever done that. I thought that was interesting. Where's the one I'm looking for, though? We're going to talk about that one in more depth. Let's see. I swear I put this in here. Bear with me, guys. This one disturbed me a lot, actually. We're gonna talk about this one. So, So the question here was, hey, Brittany, the question was, have you ever felt pressured to unsubscribe or not to support a particular channel due to drama between creators? Now, I've seen this for a while, but I was, interested to see if anybody else would admit it. And obviously people did. So 72% said that they have felt pressure to unsubscribe or support or not to support because of drama between creators. Now, guys, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because we are all on here to have an audience, to do certain things, like a lot of us, especially here, guys, especially here, all of us are going after people that are in this area. So I'm going to go into a different topic of that, which actually the Dark Magician had a very good panel yesterday about a lot of this, channel culture and stuff like that. And basically, without going into the extreme details of this, because I think I want to do an entire thing on it. When we're in this little microcosm where we're all kind of attacking each other, none of us are over, it's called the 10K rule. None of us are over 10,000 subscribers. So basically we're attacking coworkers, if that makes sense. So, the drama between you and some other person that's on here, whether it's warranted or not, can be detrimental to somebody who's trying to grow a channel. Now, the problem with that is that a lot of the time stuff is based on, misinformation, or it's based on, somebody trying to start stuff between people and it's not even truthful or factual. But the minute a creator has those words come out of their mouth, subscribers are going to go and they're going to unsubscribe from that person, or they're going to, not support them anymore. And that's really dangerous, especially when a lot of the times that I've seen it's over stuff that didn't happen, or didn't happen the way the creator presented it as. And it's really, I guess once you get over a certain point, it's less detrimental. But, if it's about somebody like who's got, I would even say, in this context, under 1,000 subs, I mean, it can be really harmful. I mean, even over that, it can be really harmful because they feel like they have to pick sides. They feel like they need to make that choice and show their loyalty to the creator that they prefer. And they do. I mean, there you go. 72% of people feel pressured to do that. And I think that that's really, really, really disturbing. I myself have felt pressured to do that. I myself have unsubscribed to certain people in the past, based on what I was hearing from one creator. And a lot of the time people don't even want to hear the other side. They just go with the narrative that's being told to them. And half the time, if a creator is wrong, they don't backtrack to apologize. They just keep going and pretend it didn't happen. And subscribers are left still under the impression that something happened that didn't. And it's nuts. It's nuts. And then a lot of the time when you go to try and do your research and you want to go and look, to see the other side, the videos are gone. So it's like, what are you going to do? Yes, #shy. It is. And people are, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people that are taking everything that comes out of a creator's mouth, and we're on the spot on a live. Okay. So like, if I say something, if I was to say, I don't know, like just find out that, oh, somebody said this or said this on their live, and I say it out loud, a lot of people are going to hear that and they're going to say, oh, well, that must be true because I trust this person. And they're not going to go and see for themselves. They're going to take that as fact. They're going to, and it gets really out of control. And then they feel like they have to choose. But, the unfortunate part, I mean, that's, it comes at a cost to the other person. And, I guess it's one thing if that person really did, did the behavior and, did exactly what they were saying. But I've seen so many times, especially recently, it's half truths. It's taken out of context. It's things that are, twisted by, people that have nothing better to do on here than to go into communities and, try and get in creators' ears to try and, make them feel like, something's against them and that it's taken as gospel and fact. When if you were to just take a look at the other side, you would see that, that person might have been in the wrong about how they handled something. it certainly was not what, you were told. And hey, Earthbound Spirit. Hi, Mike. I know this is a drama. Right. There should be more productive conversations. I agree, Nana Sue. Because that's, and you can't do anything right here, guys. You can't do anything right. So, like, if I come on here and I say, let's, talk about these things so we can make, this a better place, because I don't feel like this has to be as bad as it is, like, lately. I don't think it does. But then I'll get told that, I'm being, fake, and I'm being all of these things. But I do genuinely care about it. And here's why, guys. It's because I'm part of this community too. I don't like this. I don't think it's healthy. Hi, current Mrs. B. I don't think that anything here is at all productive to, creating a culture and climate of, people feeling comfortable being here. A lot of these questions really just showed me that. Hold on. Let's see. Here we go. Here's another one. Let's see. All right. So do you feel that you are able to express your opinion freely in chat, especially if it goes against the views of the creator? Now, obviously, a lot of people felt that they cannot. Because, honestly, I mean, let's be honest. How many times have we seen somebody, even if it wasn't in a rude way, get, jumped on if you say that you don't agree with something that they do? I've had it happen to me, and I don't even do it in a rude way. I'm just like, hey, I don't agree. I think you came off a little aggressive with that, or I don't agree with how you handled that. But it's taken as me like criticizing them and me bashing them, when really it's just constructive criticism. Now, guys, I don't know. Like, I didn't think that we as adults needed to have like a conversation about what is bashing and what is constructive criticism. I was under the impression people could tell the difference, but it appears that maybe I was wrong, because it gets internalized and people take it personally, and then they lose it, and then the chat goes in because they feel like they have to defend, and it makes it so it's not a pleasant place, for anybody. I've had people tell me that they've been seen in a different chat, and then when they go back to another community and talk, like, they used to get responded to all the time, and then nobody talks to them anymore, and they feel bad because a lot of people don't want to have to choose a channel, because ultimately, guys, my problems or any of the creators' problems are not your problems. You are allowed to support whoever you want. You are allowed to be whatever channel that you want to be in. That's your right. I would never expect people to be angry at something that has nothing to do with them. If there was somebody like attacking me, honestly, guys, I don't want you getting involved. You don't need to. I can handle it. I'm good. Like, it doesn't bother me. So I would rather people feel free to go to whatever channel they choose and continue to, and half the time, guys, everybody makes a big dramatic thing about it, and then how many times do those people make up, or it dies down? It's silly. It's silly. Why do that? Why do that? Especially over some of the stuff that it is. It's like, it's just silly nonsense. And why don't you just wait it out, or why don't you see the other side of the story? Or I am trying to create awareness around that, Brittany. It's true. And some people, yes. Well, Brittany, to be fair, I think some of my stuff is passive. But that's not because I don't. I think it's because what I'm trying to talk about is behaviors that's like across a giant scale. It's not necessarily about one particular creator. It's really just a climate and the culture I see around here. It really isn't just one creator. I think it all plays into it, but it does. I will be told I'm fake, or holier than thou, or I could go look at my screenshots and find the other ones, but I don't care. Whatever. Like, stick around and find out. You'll see. I'm not fake, and I'm not going to change. This is who I am. Can I be mean? Can I get caught up in things? Yeah, sure. I can be. I have a kind of sarcastic, dark sense of humor. Since I've become a creator, I've tried to be more mindful of that, because, as a creator, I kind of do have more eyes on me. And I do want to put forth my best behavior, and lead by example, if that makes sense. Like, But that, I mean, it doesn't mean that I haven't done things in the past. I guess I have. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being, and I grow, and learn from my mistakes and kind of move on every day. But, yeah, people have been completely exiled. That's right. And I think that's wrong, Brittany. I think that's wrong. If I don't really give a crap what channel I see you guys in. Like, I really don't care. And, if it's a channel I really don't care for, or, that just makes me angry to watch, you want to know what, guys? I don't watch it. I don't. There are some things going on right now that I don't even know anything about it because I'm not a part of any of those channels. I don't go to those channels. I have no interest in those channels. And then part of me is like, if I'm going to speak on things, I kind of have to. But, if somebody's voice, sounds like, nails across a chalkboard to me, I'm really not going to go out of my way to listen to them. But it's true. Like people just, venture out and they go into it just to see the other side. And, God forbid you get caught by, the YouTube police. And yeah, right. As long as when you're here in my chat, you're respectful and, you treat others with respect, we can have good conversations. As long as you do that, I have no issue. It is, Brittany. It is subs as well. Yes. Yep. I agree with you 100%. And I see it in a few places. And right now, I'm kind of waiting some stuff out to see what happens when the dust settles, because I'm not going to speak on it until then. Just because I want to get all my facts straight. That's why I wanted to listen to some stuff yesterday. I wanted to catch up because I honestly haven't been, because it gets tiring, guys. It gets tiring. Like, but yeah, right, Nana Sue. And I think you're not alone with that. I think a lot of people have come on to YouTube because it was an escape from, their life. And it was a way for them to have meaningful relationships with other people and chat. And it, that's how I felt too. But it's like, I can't even go into a chat now without somebody having a problem with it, or, without fear of being, personally, I really don't care. Like, whatever. Good luck. Because anybody who knows me knows that, you can try and spin it any way you want, but, it's not, whatever. Everybody knows it's not true. But, a lot of people don't want that, and they feel like they can't go where their friends are. I feel that way sometimes. I certainly do. I have felt like, I really like the people in this chat, but if I'm seen in this chat, then, there might be repercussions for that. And I shouldn't have to feel that way, nor should any of you. I strongly encourage people to just take a breath before you, react the way that you do. And I also want to make another point here too, guys, because the more I've thought about it, the more it has resonated with me. Why do people I think loyalty, we're going to have a conversation about loyalty in general, because I think that their blind loyalty is dangerous. But at the same time, why are people showing loyalty to people who would never do the same for them? Never, ever, ever. Like, what do we actually owe anybody on here? Like, it is a YouTube channel. Like, I promise you. In fact, that was one of the first things that got me really opened my eyes on here, actually, was, look at whether anybody would reciprocate what you do for them, or what, you defend them. Because I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, that person, if there was a chat that was bashing you, wouldn't say jack shit. Pardon my language. And I've seen it. There are people that go hard for, certain, whether it be subs for creators or, all of that. And they're not going to do the same for you. So ultimately, you're just going to end up feeling bad. And I just don't see the purpose. There are just people that get really, really over involved and stuff. But I promise you that if it went the other way, that person would be nowhere to be found. It happened to me, and it was very eye-opening. And that's actually one of the reasons I kind of started my own thing over here, was because of that experience. I was like, wow, that's very, very telling. That's very telling. And I mean, to be honest, guys, I mean, yeah. Why are we giving loyalty, like blind loyalty, like to the point where we're not even going to listen to other sides of stories because we're going to take what one person says as absolute fact to somebody who, you know, I really would have no problem betraying you. I promise you that. I mean, but people see that soon enough. But, you know, and I feel bad. I do. That was my thing. And I feel that way with creators as well, even as a creator. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what do I don't owe anybody anything here. You know, I like people who I like, but at the same time, you know, me, what am I getting out of defending certain people? Nothing. They wouldn't do the same for me. They would never do the same for me. In fact, you know, on the flip side to that, you never know who's like conspiring, like, you know, being nice to your face. It's the people that are mean, like outright, that I trust more, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, I've had Discord messages leaked. Yep. There are good people here on YouTube, Candy Hisses. There are, and there are good. I feel like, you know, this community has lost sight of that in a lot of ways because, hey, Golden, just because, like, you know, there's just been so much negativity and so much, you know, you think you can trust one person and then they go and do one thing, or, you know, they've been, you know, preaching about one thing, and then, you know, you wake up one morning and you find out that, like, they did that one thing that it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's what I've been trying to do. All I want for my channel, guys, I'm not here to, you know, really what I'm here to do. And if there's a you know, a place for it, that's great. If there isn't, you know, I get that too. But what I want to do is, I'm part of this community just as much as anybody else. I want a place where we can talk about those things. We can talk about the behaviors. We can maybe, like, you know, share our views on things. So maybe somebody, you know, can like, you know, leave this chat or leave this live with maybe, like, you know, seeing things in a way they hadn't seen it before, or, you know, better equipped to see through or handle some of, like, the stuff that happens elsewhere. Because I feel like not everybody wants, like, extreme drama all the time. I think that sometimes people want to discuss these things, but in a more low-key setting. And that's what I want to offer. Like, that is my mission statement. My mission statement is to, you know, I still am going to provide the content that people want and the content that, you know, people are interested in, but I'm not going to do it in a way that goes against my values. And I'm certainly not going to do it in a way that's going to make this chat, this, you know, channel toxic to other people. What I want is for this to be more of a, you know, some time away from that, where people who, even I have people in here that are, you know, a little problematic elsewhere, and they're very respectful when they're in here. I think that the creator does bring out either the worst or best. You can tell, though, too, like, if a creator's being super calm and doing something positive, the chat's generally pretty positive too. Yes, X amount of words. You are very right about that. I think a lot of people do lose are not humble. You know, yes. I think a lot of people also forget where they came from very, very fast and very easily. And yeah, that's also that's also very, very true. And I don't want to do that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I just think that it's definitely time for change. I think a lot of people want some change in here, but at the same time, I think that a lot of people are here for drama. And I just want to figure out a way that we can do drama. We can do call outs or clapbacks or T channel or whatever genre without doing it in a way that's, like, affecting people's real lives. Because especially when it's, like, you know, flowing over into subscribers, because that's not cool, guys. Like, this isn't supposed to be something that you that affects you in your personal life. This is supposed to be like an escape where we can, you know, have some fun with things. But the problem is that with a lot of the creators that are in this community now, you know, the purpose of being here is, like, if you come up on here and you talk about somebody, you're opening yourself up. That's like a contract. Like, you're agreeing that, you know, you are willing to be spoken about. because that's how this works. But a lot of people seem to forget that. So the minute you mention their name, it's like, everybody just flips and is like, oh my God, that's the worst thing that you could have ever done. When, like, what have you guys been doing for the past several months besides talking about other people? Like, I don't understand. So what is it? Like, I don't get it. And the other question actually that I had, and I might look for it, is if we call out one creator for a behavior, do we call out every creator for that same behavior? And I was actually surprised that some people said no, but everybody's entitled to their beliefs. Now, what I think when I think of that is, a behavior is a behavior, regardless of a name attached to it. So if we allow it with one person, but we don't with another, is the behavior wrong or is it not? I don't think that there's a gray area there. I think that, there are some things that, if it's wrong, it's wrong. It needs to be wrong across the board. You're just saying that, like, it's okay for some people, but not others, which just opens up this whole thing to, first of all, people feeling that it's very hypocritical, but also just, people thinking that they can do things because of this, that, or the other thing. No, if a behavior is wrong, in my opinion, it should be wrong. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This isn't, I don't think that there's a gray area on that. If we're going to say that a creator cannot do X, Y, or Z without repercussions, then there should be repercussions for behaviors X, Y, and Z, no matter where it is. And that's just my opinion on things, and that's how I'm going to go about it. I don't think that there's exceptions to that. I don't think that there's, I'm not gonna, I feel like a lot of the time, like, people will see that certain people can't handle things, so they'll like kind of dumb it down a little bit or put on their kids' gloves when they're doing that. And I'm not gonna do that, guys. If you want to come on here and you've been part of this community, you know what you're getting into. Yeah, personal drama has become acceptable content. Yep, I agree with you there too. Very much so, Dark Magician. I think that's. I just see a lot of manipulation going on. There's a lot of people trying to manipulate subs to feel a certain way, and to, whether it be for monetary gain or for influence or whatever. Yes, current Mrs. B, that's very true, though. It's very true. A lot of people are, displaying the same behaviors, but if you call them out on it, they like lose their minds, and you're treated like you're like the worst person on the planet and mean and, just part of the problem for saying that. And I think that that's like the most bizarre thing I've run into. Especially when it's so obvious. Like, why are we justifying behaviors for some people but not for others? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And, I get crap for saying that. I get crap for that. People will say all sorts of things. But, I never came on here with the sole intention of talking about Natasha, guys. That's not what my channel is. I don't want that for my channel. I want to talk about these behaviors, and I want to talk about kind of being like a brainstorming place where we can figure out, what's going on and what we can do to not be part of it, or at the very least, just a place where we don't have to, engage with that kind of stuff and have that negativity. That's all. Yeah, personal drama attached with catch apps. Exactly, X amount of words. Exactly. Because I think that there's many places around here that are exhibiting some really problematic stuff going on. And that's why I'm here, is to talk about the behaviors. I don't, and I know that a lot of people really are upset that I'm not here to just talk about Natasha. Well, that's not what I'm here to do. And that's not what I'm going to do. It doesn't mean that I like her. It doesn't mean that we're going to be friends. It doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that I'm going to, become part of her community, or none of those things are true. I still feel very strongly about some things that have gone on there, and I continue to. I just don't want to do just that. I just don't. That's never what I wanted to do on here. So, right. Their emotions may be heightened at the time, distorting events. Yes. Yep. Right. If subs don't agree, it's as if you don't support them entirely, and it's all or nothing thinking. People are like, if you don't agree with me, then you don't support me, and there's the door. And I think that that's really, really, really dysfunctional, because I don't expect any of you guys to agree with me all the time. Like, I know there are some people who really dislike certain creators, or, you know, like creators very much that I might not care for. You know what? Like, we're all entitled to our opinions. I don't judge anybody for that. You know, whatever. You know, you're allowed to support whoever the heck you want to support. Like, it's not that serious, guys. It's not that serious. It's like, you know, nobody should have to like secretly enjoy a TV show. I don't think that, you know, should be such thing as a guilty pleasure. Like, you know, be open and honest. Be like, yeah, I watch it, whatever. Just because you watch something too doesn't mean you enjoy it. But a lot of black and white thinking. I'm also very guilty of it sometimes. Yep. But I'm tired of like people getting written off entirely just because they disagree with one thing a creator did. And then all of a sudden they're the enemy. All of a sudden, you know, nobody should support them because they agreed with one thing about, you know, it's really stupid. It's really stupid, and it's childish. And, you know, I don't know if anybody else has taken a look at their analytics lately if you're a creator, but, you know, I look at mine daily, and, you know, the age group that is mostly on here, guys, in this community are ages 45 to 54, followed by very similar ages. So if you're going to come on here and behave like a child, then you're really not pandering to the right audience here. And I think that a lot of people are feeling that way. I feel like a lot of people are really tired of this stupid, immature stuff that they're seeing. And I mean, I know I am, and I'm 33 years old, and I'm tired of some of the stuff that I'm seeing that I just don't think it's funny. I don't think it's appropriate. I think it's gross. I feel like it belongs in a high school. And I just, you know, it is right. A lot of, yes, Golden. Yes, Golden. A lot of people do. They really, really like certain creators, and they feel like that creator has, you know, yeah, it's easier to give a pass to creators you like. You are so right on that. You are so right. And I think that, you know, it's true. And I feel like it can be problematic, though. Now, it's one thing if you give them a pass on that and you're not going elsewhere and dragging other people, or, you know, trying to influence others to not like somebody, but if you're actively doing that, you know, you are part of the problem. You are, because, like, you know, we all know that you like a certain creator. We get it. I get it. Like, I know. But, you know, I don't think that anybody should be trying to get and actively trying to cancel it. You know, just stop with that, guys. What is the purpose of like silencing somebody's voice? You know, that doesn't sit well with me. I don't think that, and it's a difficult question because there are definitely some people that I don't particularly think YouTube is the right place for them. I think that they probably shouldn't be on YouTube. However, you know, if I say that about one person, yeah, I don't want my ultimate goal, my end game. I don't want anybody out of here. Like, that's not what I want. What I want is change in behavior, or, you know, I've kind of accepted that there isn't going to be change. I've accepted that this is kind of how things are going to be. But I've also decided that that's not how I'm going to be. And I'm part of this community. So if people want to come over here and they want to do something different and have something different going on, maybe do things a little bit differently than have been going on, you know, I welcome everybody. Let's give it a try. We don't have to do things like everybody else. This doesn't have to be just another channel that is just like everything else. Like, you see so many channels and it's all the same stuff. Like, you know, we get it, guys. We get it. You know, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to see, like, you know, clip videos coming up in my suggested, you know, that are going after Mrs. P, or, you know, that seems to be actually really what it is lately, is all of it. It's like, yes, we get it. She's problematic and, you know, probably needs some serious help, and, you know, probably should be plugged into other activities that aren't YouTube. Yes, we all get it. I think we all see it and we all know. You know, and I think that people also need to remember that negative attention is still attention. Yes, T-Scale. Aren't you correct with that? You are. Actually, I had not even, like, That wasn't even on my mind, but you are so true. A percentage of people who do alt accounts act one way in one channel and totally different in another. It's true. It's true. Now, what I think it contributes to that is that I think a lot of people either don't really, well, if I was to, well, I don't. I have one alt. It's because I locked myself out of this, and it's called Bbot. But I don't use it to go into anybody's chats because it has commercials, and I don't like commercials. So I'll just use this one. But I think that people a lot of the time want to be part of multiple communities, like actively. And I feel like a lot of people feel like they can't do that. I feel like a lot of people think that they're not allowed to think two different ways. Now, I can see that as being an okay, like, coping mechanism and being really toxic at the same time. Though I think it really depends on the situation. Because I can see that. I'm not sure how I feel about people being able to change their names so quickly and being able to be whoever. I don't like the fact that people were able to clone me and, make it look so convincing. I don't know if I think that that's okay. I mean, I guess, I can see why it became a thing, but I also think it's kind of dangerous, in being able to, control behavior. I think it's problematic for sure. For sure. I also think it's, like I said, T-Scale, I have one, and it's because when I switched over from my Android to an iPhone in July, I, for some reason, couldn't remember the password. So I created a new one. But I don't use it. And yeah, it's hard to keep up with. It is. It's hard to keep up with. When I get sent screenshots of things that wasn't me saying it, that's a little concerning. I don't like that. Yeah, Modelin, I think so too. I know, like, a lot of emails, like, if a screen name is in use, they won't let you use it, but you can literally be anybody you want here. I didn't actually know that. And then I was like, I would see Dr. Phil in, like, people's chats, and I'm like, wow, how would Dr. Phil know about this, like, really super small true crime channel? And it turns out that anybody can be Dr. Phil. I could make my name, I could be anybody right now. I could change my thing. I could be anybody. And nobody would know. But when I'm seeing, like, myself in chats that I was literally never in, that's concerning to me. I don't think that's right. I also don't think it's right that if you're, banned from YouTube, you can just go and make another channel. There's a reason that if you break terms of service that they boot you. I feel like there should at least be, a time period that you have to wait to be able to be on YouTube at all again. I don't know how I feel about everybody having multiple channels, and I get it that people are really petty and abuse the systems for things just out of spite and dislike for a particular creator. I see it everywhere. I see it in all sorts of communities. Hi, Mr. Jade. But at the same time, if somebody's really toxic and they've really done some damage on YouTube and YouTube finally takes them down, the fact that they pop up the next day under another account is kind of concerning. I don't think that people should be banned, like a lifetime ban, or else it's something really terrible. But I think there should at least be, like, a time period where they cannot be on YouTube in any way. But it's so easy. All they do is they find and get another email, and boom, there you go. New account, who this? And then, their audience will just go there. And yeah, I mean, and it's hard. Building a community on YouTube isn't easy, guys. It's not. It's definitely more difficult than anything I've had to do before. Yeah, like Facebook jail. Exactly. But, there are people that just have, like, all sorts of channels ready to go, and they'll occasionally cross promote it so they have, like, a following built up. And, I don't really know how to go about how YouTube could fix that. I don't know. But I feel like that can be really problematic, because if you're doing something that's, breaking terms of service, who's going to care about terms of service if they can just make another channel? Like, and then, 9 times out of 10, their whole fan base will go right over there. And I mean, it might not be as big of a platform as they used to have, but it'll be enough for them to make money. And then, the people who really care will be there. And then yes, you have to build again, but they're still on there spewing their nonsense and doing what they do. And I'm definitely wary of that. I don't know how I feel about that either, but there definitely is a lot of just, like, Yeah, I think, yeah. So I think that modeling, you're right, though. I think that a good way to do that would be like, if somebody else has that name here on YouTube, I don't think, and, believe it or not, guys, there are other B pluses on here. Like, what? I literally put this in, like, really quickly, trying to think of something to make it as, so I, kind of as an alt, I guess, but it's still my account. And I, it's kind of funny. Like, I did it because I was looking at a grade I got on a paper, and I'm like, yeah, nobody would be able to figure out who I am. No, B plus. That nobody could figure that out. And apparently I'm not the only B plus. Far from, actually. So, yeah. Right. Well, X amount of words, that's true. Especially if they're all simultaneous. I don't like that either, though, especially when it's the same audience. Like, if you have a couple different channels, like, let's say you have one channel in the crafting community, you have another one in the true crime community, and another one in the drama community, and you have some crossover with your supporters, but basically you built your channel and your audience in different communities, so it's different. Then I can see having 3 different memberships, because you did the work and you built it, and it's not the same people. But when it's all crossover and the same audience, I don't really know the purpose of that except for a money grab. But here's the thing, guys, and I think we just need to accept this, is that, we are all adults, and people they're gonna give money where they want to. And, a lot of people really don't care about those kinds of things. And, here's what I've been saying, like, I have very strong values and morals and what I think is right and what I think isn't, but other people do too. And if somebody else is being true to what they believe is right or wrong, I can't argue that, because I might disagree, but that's their right. Now, I don't like it, or when I feel like people are being taken advantage of, which I do feel like people have been taken advantage of. But like I said, when I asked that question, a lot of people did not feel actually the vast majority, before YouTube took it down, did not care. They did not feel financially taken advantage of. And I was actually encouraged to see that. I'm glad that people didn't. I know a lot of people do, but where people spend their money isn't really our business, in my opinion. In terms of certain things, I will say, though, I have every right to discuss other aspects of it, but honestly, I don't think that anything anybody says is going to change the fact that, there are people that are going to throw money at problematic people, no matter what anybody says. And that's just how it is, guys. It is. People enjoy the drama. People enjoy supporting people who do that because they like to be part of those sorts of communities and toxic environment. You know what I mean? So, of course, they're going to, or they don't see those things because they like that creator so much that they are like, they don't choose to see the negatives that go on. And, maybe someday they will, and they'll be like, oh, well, that was stupid. But, yes, Mrs. B, exactly. I feel the same way. I don't want to just take somebody's, hashtag shy. I actually thought people would. Because I've heard a lot of people tell me so. Especially in this community, you know what I mean? Like, if it was amongst a different community, yes, then I would see it being different, only because, it's a lot easier to fool somebody than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. But once you've kind of, the people that subscribe to me, I thought would have voted a little bit differently, but, I was actually encouraged to see that they didn't. But yeah, referring to pressure some subs, yes. And I do feel like some subs are pressured to do that. I think a lot of people here are really, desperate for some sort of interactions and approval and stuff. And, not to everybody, but to some. If you say something like, if a creator acknowledges you, or, says that one of your comments is really like interesting, or, stuff like that. Like, I feel like a lot of people really like that. I like that. I like to be noticed. I don't like to go into a chat and have nobody acknowledge me. I think that's human. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think that there are people that will go above and beyond to try and be that to a creator, and they end up getting used in one way. That's just how I see it anyway. But You know, I think it really depends on, who believes what's right and whatever. I mean, we are going to have that discussion about the whole money thing on here, because actually I was very surprised with how some people voted on that. And I think that it's worth having a conversation because, these are the subs in this community. And if people are feeling a certain way about how creators are presenting their payment info, then we're going to talk about it and we're going to figure that out because the last thing I want is to alienate anybody or to make anybody feel uncomfortable. And I suggest other creators maybe, do the same, or at least, do their own polls and find out. Because, you could be really putting somebody off and not really even realize that you're doing it. But, there are people who feel really strongly one way or another. There are some people who really don't mind payment info being dropped as long as it's not excessive. In fact, I think that was the biggest category. I think most people were comfortable with that. But there were a larger amount than I thought that there would be of people who either don't think it's appropriate at all or think that it should be kept in the about section. So I want to talk about that. Because as a creator, I think we have a responsibility to kind of, I know that some people are just going to do what they want and they don't care, how it affects anybody because they don't have to care because people just support them no matter what. And they've kind of gotten to a sub count where they don't have to care, I guess. But, I'm always going to care. I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. But yeah, I think a lot of people just, I don't know. Yeah, I would make people upset. Well, that's exactly it, though. I mean, I'm not going to be made to feel like I need to be quiet about it. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, guys. I'm going to talk about who I want to talk about. I promise you that no matter who I'm talking about, it's not going to be in a way that's genuinely bashing or rude. If people want to take constructive criticism that way, then that says more about you than me. Nothing that's going to come out of my mouth about anybody here is going to be bashing. But there are some people that can't even handle their name being mentioned anywhere without feeling like it's a direct attack on them or, something really sinister going on. It's really interesting, actually. It's really though, it's one sub will hear you mention somebody's name and, they hit that screen record button and then they rush over to be like, look who mentioned you. Oh, you need to respond, be as hateful as possible, responding. And, and I think that there are people on here not so much in my chat, they might be listening, but they're not in my chat, who literally purposely go community to community to community to community, just to kind of be that voice in people's ears to make them feel paranoid and like people are talking about them and that, there's people out to get them and that, giving them information that might be taken out of context or, all sorts of stuff like that just to get a reaction out of them that they know that they can get. And I see it for what it is. Don't think I don't see it. I do. I'm very smart, guys. Sometimes I can't really utilize my intelligence as well as I want to because I do have ADHD and my brain doesn't always wire correctly, but I am very smart and there's a reason I do things the way I do them. I do pick my battles. I know when to keep my mouth shut and when not to, but just because I don't talk about it does not mean I don't see it. And it does not mean this is not my first social media rodeo. And I am going to be doing a live that's going to basically explain to you why people say the things that they do and how they do it. I'm going to, one that came to mind today that I heard somebody mention recently in one of their lives was, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I would say probably 7 or 8 times. How many times have you heard a creator say, well, because I've had so many people have come to me and they've asked me what my Cash App or PayPal is. Nobody asked them that, guys. That is them, segueing into having a reason to, tell you what their Cash App and stuff information is. Nobody went to them and asked. And that's why they're saying it on a live. No, they're using it as a way to appropriately segue into, here's my information, guys. You're going to hear a lot of people say things like that. I've heard that a few times. so many of you have asked, what my PayPal is. So mods, could you please drop that for me so everybody can know, even though nobody asked me, literally nobody asked me. I see that a lot. I think that's manipulative. That's definitely manipulative. There are also creators that will, hint at things that they want for themselves, knowing that those things will be provided to them if they hint at it in a certain way. And I see that for what it is too. You just have to look at, who, I think yep. Modeling, not in this instance, not if you knew who I was talking about. No, no, not in this case. I think, sure, people do ask occasionally, but if people are asking you, then it wasn't this. I was watching the chat. It certainly wasn't this. Not in this instance. No. And I know this person's patterns, and I've seen this 1,000 times. This person, I've seen that a couple times, but I don't know, Madeline. I disagree. I think some of it is kind of manipulative. It depends who it is, though. If it's somebody that doesn't have a history of that kind of stuff, then sure. I don't, that doesn't raise red flags for me out of everybody's mouth, but there are a few in this community that kind of stuff does definitely raise a red flag in my mind, as manipulative, because first of all, modeling, because they have it scrolling across their screen. So first and foremostly, but secondly, in some of these chats, the mods drop it like every 5 seconds. So that's that. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But I see what you're saying too. I don't think it's everybody, but it's there are some people that you're like, okay, that just sounds like because people are calling people out more and more about that, or it's pinned, right? Hashtag shy, right. I mean, I've definitely asked too. Don't get me wrong. I've definitely asked. But I'm not talking about people that don't have it, like, scrolling, or I'm talking about people that, you can't miss their payment info. It's everywhere. But that's not all creators. I've seen it a few times here, but right. Show full context of everything too. Dark Magician. That's right. A lot of these clip channels, I mean, I'd actually love to have a conversation about these clip channels, because these clip channels, that's originally what I was doing. And you know what? It was growing my channel a lot faster than doing this. I'll tell you that, because people seem to really like that. And I don't know. I feel like a lot of it does get taken out of context. I think a lot of it is kind of mean. I know it's, and I'm gonna be honest with you. There's one. I don't know, guys. I don't know if you're not, but into, I think, the whole Cash App, PayPal options. Yeah, I agree. T-Scale. And I had I had mine scrolling before, but because of your guys's the poll that I did, I decided that maybe I shouldn't do that. I mean, I'm also not monetized. I think that also plays a role in how I feel about things, but yeah, I agree, T-Scale. I agree if you're monetized. I know why people do it that way. I know it's because they don't want that 30% taken, but I get it. So I chose not to put mine up because I don't want to be off-putting to anybody. I think everybody knows if they want to find your payment info that, it's usually in people's about section, which I don't have a problem with. I feel like people can have that in their about section as much as they want. I don't think there's an issue with that at all. Because, you do want to, like, sometimes tip people for their work. A lot of the time people will come on here and, yeah, I agree, T-Scale. I agree. I do. I do. But I mean, like I said, though, a lot of us are smaller channels here, and a lot of us don't get super chats or AdSense or whatever. So, I don't know. But I think once you do, I think it's kind of because it would be one thing if these people weren't getting super chats too, right? Like, if you had a big disclaimer up there, I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I think that things should be done the way they should be done. But if you're like, guys, do not super chat me, please only send it to this, then I might be a little bit more comfortable with it. But when you're like accepting super chats and you're getting a lot of super chats, and then you also are, that's, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I'm not in that situation. It's easy to say, oh no, X amount of words. Sometimes I don't either, to be honest. And I've always thought it was quite strange, but I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. So that's so weird. T-Scale, why can nobody see you? I can see you. Sometimes I can't see you. Nobody can see you. That's so weird. I do. I'm not hallucinating. I promise you guys. I promise you. I'm not hallucinating. Sometimes guys, there have been times sometimes some accounts are really strange. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know why nobody can see them. I can see them though. I promise you, I'm not making it up. Oh, some people can. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Some people, that's what I'm also saying though, guys. Like, if people want to T-Scale, I'm not going to lie to you. When you comment on my videos and I try to like them, it won't let me. My phone freezes and it's only with you. So I don't know what that's about. But I was like really weirded out the first time. I literally tried to like every time too. And it wasn't even just the first one. It was every time. Every single time it happened. And it was so weird. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. But like I said, if there was a block button for a reason, I'm not saying. Yeah, it is weird, T-Scale. I literally cannot hit that heart button on anything that you have posted on my videos. My phone freezes or it automatically removes it. And it's just your account. And I don't know why. And I can't respond to it either. Because I was going to ask. But I always thought it was really weird. Because your comment's there. Well, sometimes... I never judge anybody for how they do things. I mean, I feel like that button should be used. I don't know, guys. I don't know how anybody operates. And I don't think I have anybody blocked because I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. Because I like to see everything. And, I tend to just avoid places that have people that I don't care for. But I'm sorry, T-Scale. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you have people blocked, but a lot of people can't see you. Some people can. Yeah, guys, I'm going to vouch for T-Scale here. There's something up with their account. Like I said, it might be a glitch too. Yeah, because I don't know why it's their account, but from the get-go, from when I started posting stuff, actually, T-Scale was one of the first people to comment on some of my videos, the first videos that I have. And I couldn't like them, and then they would disappear and then reappear and then disappear. And I don't really know what that's about. But it happened so frequently, I don't think it was intentional. So there might be like a glitch. Like I said, guys, YouTube's been weird. YouTube took down my community post that said, have you felt financially taken advantage of in the past 6 months? I woke up the next morning to look at it, and it was gone. I'm sorry, T-Scale. Yeah, guys, I don't think T-Scale meant for any of you guys not to be able to see them. So yeah, there have been times that creators like don't know why, or people, yeah, right. That's very true, guys. Also, I mean, I know that, my mods haven't, but if you're in a large chat that's going by really fast, apparently it's really, really, really easy to mistakenly click somebody's name by accident. So maybe someone bought you as a sub and you block. Yeah. I did a poll about that too. And I actually was a little bit surprised by that as well. I thought that was a good conversation that we had about buying subs and whether it's okay. And I think that, some people didn't know. I mean, buying subs, ultimately, I don't like it. I mean, does it affect me necessarily? No. But at the same time, it does affect the algorithm. So if you buy subs, aside from making your channel seem more credible and legit than it is, it also makes the algorithm show your channel before anybody else's. And I have a problem with that as well. Because if you don't want to do the work and you don't want to, and you think that, what you have to say is more important than anybody else, and, you're going to do that. Yeah, there's a reason certain people come up in my suggested when I don't subscribe to them. Not to blow up an Amy's burrito in the microwave. Yeah. Some people can see UT scale. Some people can. A lot of people can't. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's the same. Maybe it's true in other chats too. And maybe you're like, why does nobody respond? And that could be why. I'm not really sure what that's about though. That's so strange. There was somebody else actually that some people could see and most people couldn't. It was weird. I forget who it was. I don't think I've seen them since. I like to earn my achievements too. It makes it more worthwhile to me. I enjoy doing that. But I guess if people want to, buy their subs or whatever, I mean, ultimately that's their choice. The only reason it bothers me a lot though is because it affects other people. If somebody, because there are people that have no content whatsoever, yet their videos or their account is being promoted above people who actually have quality content, or you're taking advantage of the fact that psychologically and statistically you're gonna click on a channel that has more views and more subscribers over somebody who doesn't. Yeah, you can ask a question, Lion. Let's see, how long does it take before I can post something? Community tab, you have to have 500 subscribers. So once you get to 500 subscribers, you have to maintain that for about a week, and then you'll get your community tab. I don't think, there's no watch hour requirements for that or anything. So 500 subscribers, and within a week, you should get your community tab. I got mine fairly recently, and I am really, really excited about that because, see, this is how I wanted to use it. I think it's for a good reason. To be monetized, however, that's a little bit of a more difficult feat. That's 1,000 subs, and you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time, which is the kicker. So, it's always good to continue to put as much content out as you can. The lives are always good, a good way to get that watch time up. But, if that's what I don't understand though, and deleting stuff doesn't help. You lose that watch time if you continuously delete things too. I don't know. I wouldn't buy subs personally because that's not, I'm not going to celebrate an achievement of something I didn't achieve, but whatever, I don't know, guys. That's just me though. And other people didn't feel that way. Other people didn't really care one way or another. I mean, and I can see it that way too. So I guess, we all have different views on things. And I think that it's nice to kind of see that, we all might assume that everybody feels the way that we do about certain things, but the reality is that a lot of us feel very differently about stuff. Yeah, well, sure. It used to be 1,000 for both of them, I believe, or at least 1,000 for a community tab. You can do a live now, Lion, as far as I know. I was able to do one. If you're doing it through StreamYard, you have to register your YouTube channel, so it can take up to 24 hours for them to approve it. I've never used YouTube Live. I believe that you could do that right now if you wanted to. I don't think there's any restrictions to that. There used to be restrictions to that, but I don't think there is anymore. I like StreamYard because it's really easy to use, but you do need to have them approve your channel, and it can take 24 to 48 hours. Mine took a little over 24 hours, but yeah, you can probably do a live right now. I think you can do a live whenever you start a channel. I don't think there's any restrictions. I just didn't because I was super shy. Yeah, a lot of deleting going on, guys, and that's what's weird is because, if you're gonna people can't see all sides of the story if things are deleted. That's not fair. That's why half the time, you're seeing drama and then you go and look and you're like, what are they talking about? I don't know. And really you're not helping anybody's cause. Cause if you stand by what you're talking about, then people should be able to go and look and make the same conclusion. But maybe they won't, but I don't know, guys. I'm not going to delete anything. The only things that I'll delete is if it's something that actually, you know what? No, I'm not ever going to delete anything because I'm not ever going to do anything that I'm going to want to delete. But yeah, Shar, I think you're right. I don't think there's a sub requirement for for doing lives. I think you can go, I think anybody can go live. The minute that you have a channel, you're good to go. And it is a really great way to build up that watch time. I've noticed that. I've noticed that people that go live more so than make content are able to hit that faster. I'm right on track for it. I should put out more content than I do if I wanted to get there. Because YouTube projects me. Actually, guys, I'm also going to say, like, Social Blade is not accurate at all. I was doing experimenting with it a little bit, but it doesn't even have my counts correctly. It doesn't give me enough credit, but that's okay. If you're on a computer, you can go live regardless. I think on your phone too, X amount of words, because I actually didn't even use my computer for YouTube until I did StreamYard. Because I don't know, it just feels more legit on a computer, but you can go live on that too. Yeah, especially when that creator isn't willing to discuss what was deleted. Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's nuts. It's nuts. Like, you have to have all those facts out if you're not gonna, like, I don't know, guys, like, you can't like expect everybody to believe. Yeah, you have to wait like 24 hours. Yeah. For YouTube lives modeling or for StreamYard. I've never done a YouTube one, so I'm not the expert on that, but no, I'm not an expert on this either, but yeah, I didn't really go on YouTube. I would only watch like the documentary style stuff, before, but I ended up stumbling upon Watts Island, about a year ago, and it's kind of gone from there. And I've kind of stuck around. I never even wanted to do, X amount of words. You know what? Soon. It is one of my favorite songs to play. And I think I've achieved what I need to achieve to maybe do a little concert for you guys. Ann, that's an interesting that you asked that. If you go to YouTube Studio, I think it'll show you, I'm not sure exactly where, it'll show you like who's recently subscribed to you. But you're not going to get a notification every time somebody does with a name. You'll get them sporadically. Like, I'll see occasionally a name that subscribed to me, but barely any. And I'm not sure how to look to see whether somebody's subscribed to me or not, which is why I'm always really wary, guys. And you should be really wary, or else I'm missing something, because there might be a way to see it. But, when somebody's doing like a giveaway, right, where they say, on Instagram, it's different because you can see those things. But, on YouTube, when they're like, subscribe to my channel and then comment, as far as I know, there's really no way for them to see whether you subscribed or not. So, or especially if you have your subscriptions private, although some of them will say you have to make it public. So I guess if you want to, that'd be very time consuming though. But I'm always wary of that. Like, if they can see if you comment on it, but nobody's going to see it. Nobody sees if you like it or not. And nobody can see if you subscribed, if you hide your subscriptions. So what you can do, I do it because I don't really want people to, I'm open about where I go and what I do, but like, I don't know, I'm subscribed to some embarrassing stuff and nothing to do with this community, but like, they're like, really, you care about that stuff? And I'm like, not really. I just enjoy watching it. Yeah. Well, and it's time to miss. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of train wrecks going on, and that's the thing. It's because people like to look at that, and I wonder if people realize that I don't know. I'm gonna have a conversation about that topic, but I'm gonna approach it I'm trying to figure out the best way to approach it, because I don't want to. Hi, Natasha. Is that follows or fallows? I think it's fallows. That's an A, right? Yes. Okay. I need glasses. But I need to find a way to adjust, because I feel like that's something that needs to be addressed, but I want to do it in a way that's less, I need to do it very carefully, but I don't think what's going on is okay. And I don't think that it should just be necessarily ignored. I think after I address it, then I think it needs to be, why do I always speak like that? Speak like what? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm speaking about that's weird. No idea what you're talking about. Please elaborate. I think you have to have 50 subscribers to, from a phone, Ava? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about this stuff. It has been eye-opening about personal pathologies. Yes. And that's what I like to come at things with, Char, is that, the psychological stuff behind it. Now, I think that it needs to be discussed, like how we can, handle certain things without doing it in a way that's going to make stuff, worse. And I think that, especially for this person, I started an hour ago. Yeah. I think most people on here talk for a really long time. I can talk for hours. I like to talk. You wouldn't know it if you met me, though. I'm very quiet if I don't know people. But once you do know me and I feel comfortable, I talk for hours and hours and hours. Actually, most people are on here for 3 to 4 hours sometimes. Usually I'd say 2 hours is usually the thing. You can do whatever you want, Natasha. That is up to you. I'm sorry that you don't care for me talking for as long as I do. I apologize about that. I guess can't make everybody happy. I don't know. I feel like it needs to be something of substance. Like if I come on here and it's under an hour, I feel like I like to hang out with you guys, honestly. Like this is what I think a lot of us do on here, though. We come in here so we can talk to other people, especially when a lot of us feel a little bit isolated right now. And I consider many of the people on here like friends of mine. So, I'm on here to talk to them in a place that, is small and I can chat with them without, okay, Natasha, well, you are welcome to your opinion and nobody is forcing you to be here and to continue to become tired by me talking. There's a exit out button and it's very easy to do. So I hope you find something that you enjoy. Okay. You can think it's boring. That's fine. Other people don't. Well, I hope you find something that's more interesting to you. It's not an airport. You don't need to, announce your arrivals and departures. I get it. See your way out. Thank you. The psychology stuff. That's what I'm here for, Shars. That's what I want to talk about, though. I'm fascinated by some of this stuff. Like not even just, I think that, YouTube in general attracts certain personality types, and not all, but a lot. And I think some of those personality types are needed to be successful here, but it is very interesting to see how everything plays out. And, I come from a psychology background, so, I love it too. And that's what I want to come on here and do. I really want to, kind of just see what, I've literally been talking to you, Natasha. I literally was just talking to you for, at least a minute there. And I'm very confused as to what your point is there. I think I'm just going to ignore that because I don't really know. You say I'm boring, but yet here you still are. So I don't know, man. I don't know. So if you want to be part of the conversation, that's great. If not, then I hope you find something that you find interesting. I'm just not gonna engage. There's a lot of clinical background. Yeah, there are a lot of people like that on here. #shy. You have a lot of really good insight. Golden has a lot of really good insight. A lot of people have some really good insight, but I always think you guys are spot on. A lot of other people as well. I just can't think of. You two are always really, really, really. Nobody's slapping their leg, Natasha. I don't know what you're talking about. If you're just here to troll or to, talk about whatever, please go elsewhere because I don't care. I don't care. Yeah. Must be very lonely or having a bad day, Mike. I agree. You can comment, but you're saying I'm boring and that you don't like me, yet you're still here. So it really doesn't make sense. You're either bored or you're not. Okay, then what? I'm not even going to engage with that. If you want to, do I need a mod? I don't know where mine are, Modeling. I don't know where mine are. Okay. I really don't believe that for a second. If you're 7 and you're on your mom's phone, I don't know how you possibly could have found me. And you know what? I don't really want children in my thing. So yeah, definitely don't want children in my thing. So you know what? If you're a child though, you're gonna be very happy about that. There you go. Okay. I'm gonna go in a timeout. Yes, #shy. That's exactly what I did. There's really no reason for children to be in my thing. So if you're a child and in here, then you're going to be put in a timeout. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just block people. First time for everything, right? Yeah, none of us want to be talking to children in here. Surely we don't want to be. I don't think you're allowed to be 7 years old and be on YouTube. I don't think I think there's an age. I think 13 is the I know that's not realistic, guys. I get it. But, yeah, I don't know where my mods are. I'm not really sure. But yes, nap time. Yeah, we don't want to talk to children. I don't want children in here, guys. This isn't a child-friendly atmosphere. I don't click that, made for children button, but whatever. Yeah. And it is interesting to look at the psychology behind things, because I think a lot of times people are motivated by things that are really, really different. And, once you can see where somebody's coming from, you can either like use that as a way to not justify their behaviors, but maybe understand the behaviors a little bit more, or you can use it as a way to kind of arm yourself to know what's going on and to, not let it either affect you personally or not let it not be taken advantage by it. And that's kind of how I've been looking at things. And I think a lot of the time we forget that there's a lot of stuff going on in some people's heads, and a lot of people are really maybe don't have the same mindset as we do. And I think it is really interesting. Our kids can teach us a lot, for sure. And I think that a lot of like psychology and stuff like that it wasn't considered like a legitimate science until, I don't know. I would say even the past like 20 years, I feel like it's become more and more of something that's accepted and mainstream to admit that there's things that are going on with you. And, guys, mental illness has always been around. Like it is not something new. It's been around since, humans have existed. But the acknowledgement of it and the, normalization of finding like, help for that is also really, 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 I think fairly new and important, I think, because a lot of people were not able to have that. And I can't even imagine how that would have felt to be like stuck in my own head personally and not, feeling like I was crazy. I'm not crazy. I just, I have depression and stuff like that. And I live with that. I get it. You left a comment on a video. There was someone who commented after. Really? Oh, was it my clone hashtag? I have some of those too. I know who's doing it. That's fine. Just because I don't call people out doesn't mean I don't know who they are. I do. I just don't care. I don't play childish games on here. I'm an adult. I have no patience for that. Zero. But yeah, Char, I'm gonna tell you right now, when I graduated college, thanks for stopping by, Lion. I appreciate that. I'm seeing new faces in here, and good luck with your channel. If that's what I think you just said, you started one. Yeah, definitely. I'll look it up later and check it out if I can remember. I hope I will. I think I'll remember. I can remember that name. And definitely, we are nice here. Like, we're not ever, even people who, might be a little not so nice elsewhere are usually really nice here. So we tend to have a more low-key kind of thing going on. Yeah, I also mark everything not for children because YouTube apparently is kind of weird about that stuff. And plus, I swear in my stuff occasionally, and we usually I have like my B+ after dark for that. But the question gets me in trouble with creators. Yeah, I get you, Mike. I get you. I do. But there's definitely it's when I graduated college, I literally went into the social service field, and I because I went through these programs and stuff, and I thought maybe I could give back and contribute. And it's kind of the family business. And it took a major toll on me to work in the group homes as a case manager. I worked with adults with developmental disabilities and dual diagnosis, and I worked with children as well with behavioral problems and also like ones with severe mental illness. And you take it home with you. It's hard. It's not for everybody. So, my advice to your daughter is, if it starts to take a toll on her mental health, there's really no shame in taking a step back and, reconsidering whether, what she's doing is right for her or if there's any other options. Right. Burnout is really high. And the last thing that you're not going to be helpful to anybody else if you can't take care of yourself. And I learned that. And it turned out that it wasn't hi, crime scene cleaner. Thank you. it turned out it wasn't the right field for me, but obviously people do it. So yeah, because, ultimately, if she wants to be helpful, and people do it because they care. I think that some of the best people are the ones that, go into that. They really do want to make a difference, but, the burnout is definitely a thing. So, and a lot of the time, people are understaffed and overworked, and, my only thing I can, if I can't stress it enough, is take that vacation time. Do not let anybody shame you out of taking your vacation time. Take your days off. Don't feel pressured to come in. People deserve to have a life outside of their jobs. Yes. You know what? I'm just going to put you over here because I don't feel like dealing with that. All right. First time for everything using that block button. All right. I'm not dealing with that today. Nope. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If people want to come in here and they just want to troll and they want to annoy and they want to cause problems, and I have no issue using that. That's what the block button's for. I'm not here for that. I'm not playing games with anybody. Definitely not doing that, especially with a supposed 7-year-old. Well, I don't want 7-year-olds in my chat. Sorry. Bye. But yeah, burnout and how it can combat it. Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, that girl. I knew I recognized you from that chat yesterday. I was like, I know that's somebody from our community, but because more than one person can be called that girl, and I do use, you know what, Modelin, that's the thing. I don't usually, but what I'm doing in here is not, have these pointless back and forth conversations with people that, have no intent. It's not them sharing their opinion. They're literally talking about nonsense, saying I'm not talking to them when I spend an entire amount of time. No, that's just here to troll and to annoy and to bother. And that's not what I'm here to do. We're not doing that here. You want to have an opinion, you want to talk about what we're talking about. That's great. I am all here for that. I think I just broke this fidget toy, but you're not going to come in here and, overtake my chat and my conversation. You're just not going to do that. Plus, if there's 7, we don't want 7-year-olds in here, do we? I mean, I don't. I don't know why a 7-year-old would want to come in here, and I know, what a surprise. What a coincidence that their name was Natasha too. I mean, wow, that's such a coincidence. I wonder how they would have, a 7-year-old named Natasha would have possibly stumbled upon my channel. Bye, you're a blocked bish, as people say here. Because I welcome people of all places. I have, and that's the other thing. I feel like I've had to apologize for it. Like, I'm friendly with a lot of people that still support Natasha because, we were friendly before this. It's not a crime to support a particular creator. I'm sorry. It's not. So, I know that a lot of people don't like that. They think that, if you have to get, I don't know. Nobody that's in my chat is going to come in here and be disrespectful to you. So, exactly that, girl. Exactly. I'm not above it either. I've definitely been getting my fair share of nonsense coming at me just because I don't talk about it because that's what they want. They want to be acknowledged. They want me to come on here and rant and rave about it and talk about it. But I don't really care because, first of all, I know who it is. And second of all, it's not one person. It's a group. But I just don't care. It's pointless. It's pointless because all anybody really wants is a reaction. If you give those people the reaction that they want, they're just going to keep doing it because they think it's funny. But that frontal lobe of the brain develops eventually, and then that takes care of all of that. But unfortunately, it takes time. Mid-20s. Some people just aren't there yet, I guess. But yeah, I agree, Char, because I'm not even sweating it. There are, there's something else going on too that I also said I wasn't going to delete things, but I found myself deleting things more and more because what you're not going to do is you're not going to leave comments on my stuff that's using words that are really gross. You're not going to leave the N-word under my videos. You're not going to do that. That's going to get deleted. And if I see it again, you're going to get blocked. You're not going to use homophobic comments and slurs underneath my videos, especially in the middle of the night when they think that I'm not going to see it until the morning. You're not going to do that either because it's disgusting and there's no reason for you to do that. You're just doing it so people can see it, and nobody thinks I actually support that, guys, just so you know. Like, good luck with that. But I'm smarter than most people give me credit for. So I know what's going on. I thank you, Shar. I appreciate having all of you in here. We have some good conversations. Like, I know that I might, but I like the fact that my chat is small, because no, I get it, Madeline. I agree. I'm laughing. I don't know. I'm kind of, yeah, I know that my chat's small, but I like that because I can actually interact with people. Like, the minute that you start having a really big chat, a lot of the times creators either will stop looking at the chat because it's really, really, like, they kind of leave it to the mods because it's really overwhelming sometimes. But, a lot of people feel really ignored in some of the larger chats. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, the creator probably isn't ignoring you. I would say 9.5 times out of 10, they literally don't see you because the chat is flying by, and it sucks. But I feel like people need to give creators the benefit of the doubt with that, because honestly, it's I don't think it's anything intentional or personal. I think it's really is they don't see it. So, I mean, if I grow as a channel. I mean, I'm venturing out into different communities. I'm going to start talking about a lot of different things, and I have a lot of really interesting ideas to do with this channel. I just need to like get some groundwork in place. And I think that there's a place for my channel here. I was thinking about taking it down for like a little bit, maybe a week or so ago, because, I felt like people didn't want this. People were, and I was kind of getting a little discouraged, but, well, I was getting discouraged for a couple reasons, but, I really, really, really appreciate people being able to, that they come in here, and a lot of even people I see who are maybe a little problematic elsewhere are able to come in here and have a decent conversation. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't judge people as a whole. Like, I know that people get caught up in things. I get caught up in things. Hello, Delora, and stopping in with your side eyes. Yeah, chat, there's a lot of people who are right. Yeah. Exactly that, girl. Exactly. But I'm going to build my channel the right way, because unfortunately for those kinds of things, like, I want to be here for the long term. I don't want to be one of those channels that isn't relevant when all this dust settles. I don't want to be one of those channels that gets left out in the cold when people inevitably make up and, join forces with each other, which is inevitable, guys. It's going to happen. I don't know when, but it will. And yeah, slow and steady wins the race. I don't want to just, and you guys, I'm a business person. Okay. I've been in business for most of my adult life. After I did social services, I moved on to that. So this, I know it's going to sound, but you'll understand what I mean. If you're like investing in stocks, right? You don't want to, I think having like a really diverse portfolio is important. If you like put all of your money into one particular stock, if that tanks, then you're out. Like, you're out all of that and you want to be able to diversify. Like, it might not be successful in the short term, but eventually it's what's going to keep you balanced. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lion. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's quite recent for you too. Oh no. Well, that breaks my heart. That breaks my heart. I can't imagine losing my son. I'm really sorry about that, Lion. I'm not going to cry. I get emotional about these things because there's a lot of people that have had some really bad stuff happen to them here, but I'm glad that, I could help in any way. And I hope you come back. I hope you do. I enjoyed having you here, and I'm really sorry about, I don't know. I hope the rest of the day goes okay for you. I know that those anniversaries are hard, especially for that. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. There's a lot of hurt in this community, a lot of stuff that's gone on that I can't even imagine. Major drama brings in super chats. Right. Yeah, right. That girl, exactly. And I wanted to actually discuss things like that. It's because if it is always about money, Shar, everything is about money. If any creator on here tries to tell you it's not about money, they're lying. Ultimately, it's a business. Most people, anyway. I mean, there are people that, maybe are an exception to that. Sure, there might be. But eventually, like, not everybody starts out that way either. Like, you don't start out with that mindset. But eventually, if you start seeing success, it's called supply and demand. You give people what they want, they give you the money. You're reinforced to do a certain behavior or certain topic because it's lucrative. And right, YouTube, if they cracked down on that, that would put a damper on their money too. Now, I know that people are looking at it, they're like, well, YouTube is this giant corporate conglomerate, and they can, they're greedy, and that might be true. They probably are greedy, but you guys, like, the amount of money it takes to maintain something like YouTube is probably more than any of us can even imagine. Now, do I think that there's like corruption? It's obviously, that's anywhere you go, but it's all about money. It's all about money. That's why I keep saying to you guys, if you see a creator that usually does drama, especially if they don't do it in a way that's, productive, or maybe it's unkind, if they're doing another topic, go in there, go into the chat, say hello, like the video. If you're somebody who regularly super chats that creator because you really like them, send them a super chat when they're doing a topic that isn't drama, because that's going to encourage them to do that. Because it's what drives me nuts. A lot of these creators are perfectly capable of doing other content, and they're good at it. So, like, hey, Kellyanne. Well, it depends, Dark Magician. I mean, in this level, yes, absolutely. And I'm not at that place yet, but I think that there's a different way to do things than what some people have done. So, yeah, spelling names correctly. I think that, a lot of people's names here, like, I've had to tell people that the reason I don't respond to them in chats is because, like, their names are so difficult for me to remember and then type, or they have like different symbols in them that I'm like, I don't even know. And then by the time I figure it all out, because I'm usually on my phone, and a lot of the time I'm outside and my fingers are cold. So I'm like trying to figure out, and that's half the time, that's why I don't respond. I wish that you could click on it and it would like put that at. I wish you didn't have to do that manually. That would be lovely. That would make my life so much easier, because some people have some really, really elaborate names, like, which, I think is all fine and dandy until you're trying to at them, and it's like, oh my God. And some of them have like emoji. Well, mine has a freaking emoji in it too, I guess. So I guess I'm part of the problem. I don't know. But yeah, I like this community isn't bad people. We have really good people in this community. That's why I stick around. There are some really kind people. There are people here that get caught up elsewhere that I know are good people. There are creators who have gotten very caught up in things who are good people, and have maybe just aren't behaving in a way that I really care for. But that doesn't mean that they're bad people. I think a lot of people have come on here with really good intentions that have kind of maybe lost sight of what they've been doing, and I hope that changes. I hope that they, come back around, because I think a lot of people on here come on here with really good intentions. But it can quickly go different ways. And I don't think that's beyond redemption either. Yeah, crime scene cleaner. I'm not feeling too great either. I woke up in the middle of the night, like I had such a bad headache and like stuffy nose. I took some cold medicine, so it seems to be helping. But yeah, I'm not feeling my best right now either. I'm probably gonna get off of here fairly soon, because I want to go out for a walk. It's not sunny anymore, but I don't know if it's supposed to rain today. I don't have my phone near me. But I hope you feel better as well, crime scene cleaner. It's no fun to be sick. No fun at all. But yeah, I want to be a place where people can come together and kind of chat and talk about things without feeling like they have to, support one person or another, and kind of just give their genuine opinions. I know that's hard, especially when you think that somebody's going to see it and take it the wrong way. But I really encourage people to not judge people for having an opinion. If somebody's calling you names and like actively bashing you, that's a different story. But if somebody just states that they didn't like how you did something, that's not wrong. And I really encourage you either to, not take that screenshot and send it to the person it's about and just leave it alone. Or, be a little bit more open-minded with that, because I think it's important for people to, not feel silenced. I feel like people really, just because they have an opinion doesn't mean they don't support somebody either. Like, I support people on here, and I definitely have I have a whole list of things that if I, could wave a magic wand, I would do differently. I don't always enjoy, oh, you're heading out of town, Mike? Well, I don't know. Hopefully it's like a vacation. If it's not a vacation, well, I hope you still enjoy your time away. But I'm sure, hopefully when you come back, we will see you again. I want to go out of town. I haven't been anywhere in so long, but I don't like people being judged for having an opinion. I don't like the way everybody does things, but it doesn't mean I don't support them, and it doesn't mean that I dislike. It certainly doesn't mean I dislike them, but it unfortunately you come in here and you say one thing, hey navigator, and everything blows up. And that's not what I want. I want to talk about behavior. It doesn't mean that it's like one particular person either. Like if something I say resonates with you, it means you see it in yourself. Or if something I say makes you think of a certain creator, well, maybe that's because you see the same behavior. That's all. And I'm not even, I want to work on that though. I mean, if I'm going to talk about somebody specifically, I'm going to start using names, but as it stands right now, I'm just talking about certain behaviors across the board, and I see them on many channels, and I've seen it more than one place. So I'm not necessarily talking about anything in particular. I'm just talking about stuff that's going on in this community that I think is worth discussing, or maybe we could change, because it's just gotten out of control. I do think things have sort of. I mean, last night was kind of nuts. I'm not gonna lie. Last night there was a lot of stuff going down. I haven't caught up on all of it, honestly. But for the most part, I think that some stuff has maybe, I don't know, maybe not calmed down, but in certain ways, I guess. But the other thing that I encourage anybody, if you haven't gone to my community tab and you haven't voted on the other questions, I really do encourage you to go and vote on them. Because there's one I really want to talk about, where I am asking when you specifically started to see the drama start to get out of control. And I give you different time segments. I put the summer all together because I feel like the summer was its kind of thing of its own. And so far, what's taking the lead is people started to see the drama start to get out of control in November, December, which is one category, and over the summer. So ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to, whatever wins, because I'm going to start breaking it down and then letting you vote until it's one or the other is the winner. And we're going to go into that time period. And we're going to get into our time machine, and we're going to look at every single thing that happened in that time period. What was new in the community, what was going on in the community. And we're going to figure out exactly what the tipping point was, because I have some opinions on it. It looks like a lot of people share my view on when it started, but a lot of people also said over the summer. So, and I see that too. So if you haven't voted on that, I really encourage you to go do that. I'm also going to do a poll because I'm curious to know how long everybody's been in this community in general. I want to know if we're mostly made up of newer subscribers that are new to the community, or if a lot of people are have been here for a while, or because that kind of puts in context how people would see things. And obviously I'm a small channel, so my sample size of things for my studies here aren't, I think really reflective of, but I think it's reflective enough. So if you haven't voted on all those things, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to go to my, my community tab and go vote on those things, because we're going to talk about all of them specifically. I just kind of wanted to go through a few of them today with you guys here and kind of check in, because I've been off of YouTube for a little bit. And if you have not hit that thumbs up on my video, that is a free way that you can help kind of put the algorithm in my favor and help, my channel kind of get out there. And it's very easy and simple to do. If you enjoyed what you were listening to today, if you disliked it, then, there's a dislike button too. You can hit that thumbs down. I would prefer a thumbs up, but it is what it is. Can't make everybody happy. And if you have not subscribed to me, I would love for, you to give me a chance here. And we're going to be doing some really interesting things. I think a lot of people really enjoy my channel. I really, really appreciate all of the positive feedback I've gotten thus far. It really, keeps me focused and keeps me on track and remembering why I'm doing what I'm doing, and motivates me to continue doing it. And I love all of your guys' input. There's some really super smart people in this community. There's some really insightful people, really talented. And I love seeing all of that. I love seeing what everybody has to offer, because I think that's what makes a community. And that's what I want, is a community, ultimately, first and foremostly. Yeah, I am working on it. I'm trying to figure out the best way to present everything. But for me, I have to have everything organized, because if it's not organized, it's not going to come out. It's not going to work. So it takes a lot of work for me to prepare to do a certain thing. But I'm also open to suggestions with stuff. Like, if there's something you guys would like to see done on my channel, feel free to email me and let me know. I do want to do a panel at some point soon. So I will also say that, if you would be interested, I'm mostly talking to creators, but people who are like kind of veterans in the community as well. I would love to, what I want to put together is a kind of like a survival guide for, newer creators or subscribers to kind of keep themselves safe amongst the climate that's going on here, or on YouTube in general. I know that people are like, well, Emma, your channel is quite small. What authority do you have on that? Well, I had a really large Instagram following. I had almost 129,000 followers. So, this is not my first social media rodeo. While I might not be incredibly successful here on YouTube quite yet, I said yet, I do have experience. I do know what behind the scenes is. I have seen a lot of stuff for myself. So I see things for what they are, but I also have been part of this community for quite some time. So I feel like I do have a bunch I could speak to. So I would be interested in getting some creators up here and kind of do something like that. And even some subscribers that have been part of the community for a while, or even that haven't. If you guys want to have like a live where you guys can talk about certain things that really are concerning, or what you would like to see change, I think that's important. I think that's important for creators to hear too. Creators don't know that people want certain things if people don't voice those things. But I also think a lot of creators don't present subs with like the direct, question of it. And I think a lot of the time subs aren't sure whether they can share that or not, or whether it would be welcomed or not. So sometimes people keep it to themselves. But I guess not everybody is here that some people just are going to do what they're going to do. But I personally want to, and here's my business side talking. I want to, put out a product that people enjoy. That's my purpose, because that's what I want. And I can't kind of perfect that product without, consumer input. So I would like to give people an opportunity to do that, because my success, is, ultimately, guys, it's part me, and I guess, but a lot of it has to, you guys are the ones that choose to support me. You guys are the ones that choose to hit that subscribe button or that like button. And, you guys could just as easily, unsubscribe or take that away, or, decide that and I want to be able to give you guys what you're looking for in a channel too, to what as far as I'm capable of it anyways, because I think that's kind of the whole purpose, especially if you want to build like a community and stuff. I mean, if you're just going to do, I think there's different types of YouTube channels, but what I'm going for here is a community where we can talk about things, and we'll see where it goes. But I am going to get off of here soon. I might come on here a little bit later. I'm not sure. I do have some schoolwork I got to get done. I got some stuff to do around the house, but it was nice chatting with everybody. And I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Saturday, wherever they are. Hi, where's Kenny? And like I said, if you haven't hit that thumbs up, if you're listening on the replay, it's not too late to hit that thumbs up. I would love that. I would love to have you as part of the community. I like seeing new faces. I definitely saw some new faces in here today. And I hope to continue to see that. So that's, hold on. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. I was like, what am I reading? It's not even on my screen. It's for school. I got a notification for school. That's nice. Did I miss an assignment? I hope I didn't. But, such is life. But yes, if you'd like to email me, my email is sliding across the bottom there, with any comments, concerns, questions. And I will try to get back to you in a timely fashion, but probably not because I'm really terrible at that and really awful. But I'm going to try to get better. I'm working on it, guys. So have a great day, and I will possibly see you guys later. But if not, I will see you next time.